Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I make this video to help you, if necessary, have ammunition, verbal ammunition, in case you have to make a point. And that point is, well, when the Americans are going to allow United Nations inspectors or experts and will have access to certain locations and investigate something on your territory, then you can ask anybody else on this planet to do the same thing. So, as you know, the United States always blames others for not being transparent when they want them to be transparent and claim, hey, you don't allow UN to go investigate this in your country, or you don't allow us to verify your, nuclear reactors or your military or whatever we want. But we don't allow anybody to do anything, which is great. But you can't be be a hypocrite, or hypocritical. You can't be like that. But hey, there's the problem. You remember Guantanamo Bay, right? That was formed in 2002, I think. Was made up as a prison where certain people were abducted, brought over there, kept and detained in miserable conditions according to the United Nations. So the United Nations was allowed now, this year, a few days ago, for the first time, to have access to Guantanamo Bay to inspect the conditions of this prison. So it's 2002, 2012, 2022. So 21 years it needed for the United States to allow UN inspector, one person, to go and assess the conditions. And the result is very, very bad for the United States of America. So next time when you hear the Americans or anybody else saying, hey, Putin should allow the UN investigators come to Zaporozhye power plant or investigate whatever we say they should investigate, you remind them of this. When US is going to allow them, then they could require or request others to do the same thing. Until then, zip it. So this not only shows the certain accusations, not accusations, because this is a report. So it's an official report made by a UN official. And you're going to see what I'm talking about here. So, Associated Press, conditions for Guantanamo detainees are cruel, inhumane, and degrading, UN investigator said. So this is from yesterday, which was the 26th of June 2023. So, cruel, inhumane, and degrading. I think that's something in one of the U.S. amendments, right? About cruel and inhumane and all that treatment. Okay. The first UN independent investigator to visit the U.S. detention center at Guantanamo Bay said Monday the 30 men held there are subject, and I'm quoting, to ongoing cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment under international law. So that means someone under the international law is not fulfilling something. So breaking the international law. So when you hear, again, this is that intellectual ammunition, if you need extra. When you're going to hear the United States pointing its fingers towards other countries about breaking the international law, which by all means they can do that. Remember that this article, okay? And many others. So yes, you can point your finger, but others have the same, should have the same right to point the fingers at your hanky-panky. The investigator, Irish law professor Fionnuala Ní Amháin, I can't pronounce this, but something like that, I will try again. Fionnuala Ní Amháin, or Alain, said at a news conference releasing her 23-page report to the United Nations Human Rights Council that the 2001 attacks in New York, Washington, and Pennsylvania had killed nearly 3,000 people were crimes against humanity. End quote. But, she said, the U.S. use of, listen to this, torture and rendition against alleged perpetrators and their associates in the years right after the attacks violated international human rights law. Oh my God, can you believe that? the greatest country in the world. And I'm talking about the politicians, okay, not about the US citizens who, they're different. But unfortunately, they vote for these people in the office. So you bear some responsibility for the outcome. However you want to take it, you vote for them, they get in power, they represent you, and then they do this kind of things. Well, by association, you, how should I put it, facilitated their ability to do these kind of things. Well, you work within the system and you voted them out, which was Bush administration at that time. But nobody after that, no administration did anything after that. Remember when Barack Obama, the former U.S. president, in his campaign said that I'm going, just to be clear, I'm going to close Guantanamo. Everybody, yeah. He got in the office and he was like, yes, you got some visitors. Okay, yeah, bring them in. Two guys, one in a khaki with a tie and glasses, and the other one with a blue-red tie with glasses. Yes, how can I help? What's going on here? Mr. Obama, this is the paper. What paper? Oh, okay. And, you got one too? Oh, all right. Plan of action. You got. Yes, sir. Okay, I will. Gina, come over here. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do now. Thank you very much. Anything else? Oh, pants down, bent over. Yeah, Gina, you can leave. Okay, now, that's how it was. And after that, no Guantanamo closing. All right. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's move on. So, violated international human rights law, and in many cases deprived the victims and survivors of justice because information obtained by torture cannot be used in trials. So that means no justice because they got the information by torture and then they used it in court, which is illegal. If the Russians would do this, I guarantee you United States would be loud and big. Ni Alan said her visit marked the first time a U.S. administration has allowed a UN investigator to visit the facility, which opened in 2002. All right? So she praised the Biden administration for leading by example by opening up Guantanamo and being prepared to address the hardest human rights issue, and urged other countries to have barred U.S. access. So the United States said in a submission to the Human Rights Council on the report that the special investigator's findings are solely her own, and that the United States disagrees in significant respects with many factual and legal assertions in her report. End quote. That means, can't do anything, we don't agree with what you say, it's your little misguided interpretation, solely your own, and that's it. You got it? So, dismissal. And here you can find, if you want to find more what she said, I observed that after 2 decades of custody, the suffering of those detained is profound and is ongoing. This is what she said. Every single detainee I met with lives with the unrelenting harms unrelenting harms that follow from systematic practice of rendition, torture, and arbitrary detention. Well, what do you want? The US will say, you know what, you can't touch me, I'm too big. This is the rule-based world I would like to have. And if you don't like it, smack. If you don't like it, boop. And that's how it goes. And Russia did not like it. And Russia invaded Ukraine unprovoked. China doesn't like it, and China is the next on that plan of action received by Biden. Okay, then India is like on the third place over there, and others. Why? Because we are telling everybody how things are ran here, and we tell you what to do. You don't tell me what to do. Sounds like a parking lot, little justice and world order. To me, it sounds like remember I mentioned very often my childhood experience in the schoolyard as a child, as a boy. Anyway, so the same. This is what dictated. And the same is here. These guys give a pretense until they want something. We're all equal, we're all the law, international law, Geneva Convention, ICC, court in The Hague and all that, everything is there. But when I need something, all that, that's what it goes. When you do something, I will grab you and say, you gotta do that. Even those institutions have no jurisdiction. Like, for instance, International Criminal Court from The Hague has no jurisdiction over Russia. United States has no jurisdiction over the United States either. But the United States still said, hey, there was a warrant over there issued by this guy. What are you talking about? It's like you're an American citizen in the United States of America, and let's say a court in Romania decides to arrest you. There's no jurisdiction over you. Or who knows, I can give you another example, but you got the point anyway. In this case, bye-bye United Nations, I do whatever I want. But no other country can do this. If any other country like Iran, Russia and China, North Korea or Venezuela, they all do this, bad dudes, sanctions, threats, blackmail, regime change, and boom, 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 bam, bam. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.